In the news this week, SNP veteran Jim Sillars calls for Scotland's controversial name person scheme to be axed. A medical professor claims sex-selective abortion is good for mother and child. And people across the globe mark World Down Syndrome Day. Hello. Jim Sillars, former deputy leader of the SNP, has attacked the Scottish Government over its controversial state guardian scheme. Addressing around 250 people at an event hosted by the No to Name Persons campaign group, Mr Sillars said it would be foolish for the government to proceed with the plans.
My advice to this government is, this isn't going to work. This is going to be a punishment on you over the years ahead. Stop digging, get out of the hole and abandon it.
The legal team behind the successful UK Supreme Court challenge answered questions from the audience, while social work expert Maggie Mellon used her speech to criticise the government's suspicion of parents.
My plea to the government is this: drop the named person, but more than that, I ask them to stop blaming and suspecting parents and start working with them. Thank you.
Aborting a child because it is the wrong sex could be in the best interests of mother and child, a medical professor has claimed. In an astonishing interview with the Mail on Sunday, Professor Wendy Savage, who sits on a British Medical Association ethics panel, also claimed that an unborn child is not an actual human life. Speaking in a personal capacity, she said it was outrageous that some hospitals declined to tell women the sex of their baby. If a woman does not want to have a fetus who is one sex or the other, forcing her is not going to be good for the eventual child, and it's not going to be good for her mental health. MP Mark Field criticised Professor Savage's comments, suggesting that women should be able to abort babies solely because they happen to be either male, or much more usually female, is utterly abhorrent. A US Supreme Court judge has highlighted the increasing pressure on freedom of religion since the court legalised same-sex marriage. In 2015, Justice Samuel Alito warned that the Supreme Court ruling could lead to people who do not support same-sex marriage being treated as bigots by governments, schools and employers. He said that we are now seeing this come to pass. Alito made the comments during a talk before a group of lawyers where he called for an increased awareness of threats to freedom of religion. He told the group, "A wind is picking up that is hostile to those with traditional moral beliefs." And finally, the 21st of March marked World Down Syndrome Day, an opportunity to celebrate the lives of people with the condition and those who support them. Around 1 in every 1,000 babies born will have Down syndrome, and there are 60,000 people with the condition in the UK. Tragically, 90% of Down's babies in England and Wales are aborted when their parents find out the diagnosis. In an article on the Desiring God website, John Knight, whose own son has serious disabilities, called on Christians to support Down's people and their families. As Christians, we already have a reason to welcome people with Down syndrome into our lives and our churches. God made them and everyone else in His image for His glory. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.